Hello everybody, Horrorfade here. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. It's been a bit since I last recorded because Oldbags throw, oh no, don't take that out of context. Oldbag's voice, killed me. It killed my throat. And I gotta do it again. But it should be, I should be able to handle this a little better. Well, then I ran out of time to record last time, so let's just get to it. Okay, I was like, audio, where are you? Oh no, there's the audio. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Willpowers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Willpowers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer at Studio One of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to your testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. First, I would like to call familiar face Detective Gumshoe to the stand. Thank you for giving me a little bit. Just worried she was right away. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain what the guy did here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? See here. This here is the employee area. Pal. The actors there run through their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then, after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. And the cat wants to sniff the Elgato cord. She's just sniffing it. She's not doing anything else. What the heck? Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m., the production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lost in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? No, that was long. Probably remember that. Watch me not remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that cool question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call security officer to stand. Oh, God. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fella? Oh, God, I can't do it. I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Just call me Grandma. See, when I was young, I was just an Oldbag. There are 2 who make fun of me, and just because of my name, can't believe it. This boy came to chest junior high. Oldbag is just crap. Objection! I object to the witnesses talking to this. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony? Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? And the cat interrupts again. Go away, kitty. Go away. Please. and to get by the scene of the murder, someone had to pass by you. Don't do it again. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. He sure is one hell of an old bag. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1. When I got to the guard station, I thought for a second my mic wasn't recording. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2. It was Powers, that man right there, who was heading towards the studio. It's not the same. I know it's not the same. You saw the defendant then. Very well, let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Okay. I'm gonna press this one. You see the victim then? Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next. So you're watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second? Of course! I'm a professional, you know. Or you're criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper? No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday. I can watch the game and eat donuts at the same time. Snipper whapper. Snipper whapper? Oldbag is losing a neck. Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty throughout the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see? Yep. 2? You're sure? Sure as spit. Well, who was the man? Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. No, it wasn't, because it was Steel Samurai, not Powers. Let me get this straight, Oldbag. Miss Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than Steel Samurai, defender in the old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? Yeah. Well, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss, Witness. Is that a joke calling you Oldbag, apparently? However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Huh, noisy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? You're not worth surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow, old Windbag has left Eden Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then. Oh, God. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run through the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Now behind some person until she squeals. Phoenix, please use a better choice of words. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be a Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Power sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where's the assistant then? Oh, her? She was getting up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Power's ankle. You may continue your testimony. He broke a prop. Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear, the murder weapon? Luckily, I was there in my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down to court record. Was Mr. Power's ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. That's the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot, okay. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is? Where is the Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. You sure, Your Honor? Object. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that the photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30, right? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Yep. The only person I saw, yeah, okay. No one else went there. It says photo number 2. Where's photo number 1? Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture? And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Wow. Right, anyway. It's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work in the studio, we might have an opening. The very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo, I printed the words October 15, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m., October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. It's yours up at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo 2? The computer only held data for one photo that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's why I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1 but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. You watch your mouth, Weather Snapper. unusable powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes. That's what it would seem to mean. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help! Oh, believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Oh, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking you see. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this! Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin to go. I'm not sure it was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. I expected old people to be forgetful. Great. Another job? That's right, I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at everyone in the photos the security camera takes. Did you back up all the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part? It's a murder trial, Miss Oldbag. Well, I didn't tell the suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. I was hanging about. What was there that day? Wait a second. Can you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grade's been loose for a while. At least outside, and well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So in the photo you erased? It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was a Steel Samurai dragging her leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes, well we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in the 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard if not impossible for a young boy to wield a samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, a boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, they're really trying to unsuspect him. I don't care if you're like 5 years old, you could still be a murder suspect. Oops. I want the defense and the prosecutor to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. Will Powers? Yes? Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio, I was sleeping, honest! So who was in the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? Your samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we gonna do? First we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do not have may not be hard evidence, but there was still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order! Interesting. Let us hear you have in mind. However, be aware this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. The stakes were not enough. So who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? Security lady. It's a security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai striking his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in his suit knew about the morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. So only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper? Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you! Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she had no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal Steel Samurai costume. Then slid into Studio 1 to scene of the murder. Why would she go through trouble wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes number 2, baby. That's, isn't this the part where Edward bounces? I usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution have an opinion on this matter. The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this whole way. Press further. The very same reasoning that makes me the suspect in this case can be used to cast out Miss Oldbag's action on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too. Indeed. Yeah. That day now, Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, when his photo I erased. He's only in grade school, though. As you said, second or fourth grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pay my old man in 10 seconds tops. Well, Mr. Wright, that boy is not the killer. And not because of his age. What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your Elder's Day, whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. Proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. Steel Samurai spear because it is broken in shaft. Your Honor, the murder weapon was the Steel Samurai spear. The very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Oh, will the witness care to comment on this? No windbag, she's speechless. It's gotta be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy, what's her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned.
Wait a second! I'm not gonna just sit here while you're off barking up the wrong tree. Me. I'm talking.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Of course she has, but she's old. She forgets things.
Actually, if you must know, it's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about?
By whom?
You mean it wasn't that who told him not to talk? We'll testify. My lips were sealed.
The Noble Studios wanted me to keep quiet on something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if they're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free!
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why do you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap and always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
God.
So this trial's been shorter than I thought. So you were told not to talk.
That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it.
Who are these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their acting team without a director? Of course.
Yes, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
Director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and then a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There's a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate all the way to the left.
Half of the monkey's head was falling over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions. I'm done. I am done. I am done. No more Oldbag. No more Oldbag. I was at the Global Studios on a taking question. Actor and the producer and there are some bigwigs. We're all present. Yet as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I don't think it's impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. Prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends today's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. The court is adjourned. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. No, really, it's none. Or should I say, I'm going to ask you to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and the producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out the servers in the Steel Samurai costume? Could I have... Oh god, sorry for being too close to the mic. Could it have really been Old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure. Oh, Mr. Bowers. Oh, God. No. Hiccups don't start. No. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Alright, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks. Thanks, guys. To be continued in the next episode. No, we don't save it in LP. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time where we go back and investigate. And honestly, either this investigation or the next investigation is the investigation I'm not going to remember what to do, probably. So, see you then.